Poesía, poetry, Greek meaning, poesía. I create, yo creo, conveying love, at times some anger, lyrical yet magical methods of manifestations. I love it. A way of remembering, holding on to memory, preservation is called poetry. Predating literacy in many languages, 9 elements of poetry, alliteration, assonance, consonance, figurative language, poetry. I love the imagery. Rhyme with me, feeling the rhythm, sometimes bongos, but today cover me. I'm going in with drums and violins. I'm Dr. Poetry. I dance while I write a stanza, choosing wisely my tone, bailando el son, escuchando la clave. Each feeling the recentering rapidly to the movement of my pen as I express my thoughts through poem. What many refer to poetry, but was Latin really derived from the Romans? Negative, it's from the Phoenicians. Latin realmente no derivó de los romanos. After all, aren't we all hermanas y hermanos? Honors to all languages as we keep creating. We may all be speaking, but are we really communicating? I see you over there playing investigator all in my hair, pero yo no me ha muerto para que me estén velando. Entiendo lo que estoy falando, mi filia. Fica con calma, nene. No fica así, no. No fica con rabia, no. No one is shaming you for speaking different languages that connect us all. There's always truth in the lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency. But for me, it's the ability to express my thoughts in several languages. After all, the point of it all is to connect and not disconnect. Protection for the connection. Embrace my affection. In poetica dieri, soy doctora poesía, soy la doctora poesial. Oh, ¿a qué aconteció como lengua latina? Ella es extinta. What happened to the Latin language? Is it extinct? Is it dead? Está muerto. Que un mergulano inició de latín. ¿El dónde veo? ¿De dónde vino? Phoenician derived, said the Romanos. So they added TIC to create a romantic language of French, Romanian, Spanish, and Portuguese. There's always truth in a lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency to embrace all dialects, accents that beautifully remind us of our diversified ancestry. Poesía sounds like a lot, right? I love it. Speaking Latin, Portuguese, and Spanish, but where did it come from? Phoenician. No one is shaming you for speaking different languages. Ninguém tá falando mentira, minha filha. Fica com calma, neném. Tá bom? Não fica assim, não. There's always truth in the lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency. Frequency. Ninguém me está aborgando você por falar diferente. A linguagem que nos conecta a todos. Yo amo poesía con toda mi alma. Poesía. Feel free to hate on me. I'm Dr. Poetry, and I love poetry.
You can bet your bottom dollar you are loved as you walk through the clouds in the beautiful skies above. We honor you for your wisdom, truth, and humor, cracking jokes and addressing unnecessary rumors. Call out all the real and let us know the deal. We love you, Rada Dada, and we adore you. As you walk with our Maker at peace as He restores you. Big back snacks laid before you, and the baddest nurses on the floor, do turn up because that's what we doing for you. Salsa and jazz, dance floor guru.
Whoa. Ay, yay, yay. Miss Cheesecake, Cosmic Oracle. I'm Dr. Poetry. Welcome to Hear Me Out Poetry, but this Hear Me Out Poetry is a special one. But I want to start by giving a huge thank you to Miss Cheesecake for that beautiful, beautiful song. And it's just so beautiful. It really, really honors Rada Dada. Um, I just want to say a few words, and this is all in love and memory of Caliph Rada, Rada Dada. You know, this is not easy for me to sit here and do this, but we're going to try. Caliph Rada, lovingly known as Rada Dada, will forever be remembered as a devoted father, grandfather, brother, and cherished friend to many. He was a phenomenal voice on the Stereo app and fan base, where his presence became a guiding light for countless podcasters who experienced, right, his wisdom, his humor, and authenticity. And many of us came to see him not only as a talented creator, but as a father figure whose encouragement nurtured growth, confidence, and unity. Rada Dada believed deeply in the power of sharing, what he called shares. He generously shared knowledge, life lessons, and musical insight, always encouraging younger voices to speak boldly and learn from both triumphs and mistakes. Though humble about his gifts, he was undeniably a poet at heart, embracing the Hear Me Out poetry community with unwavering love and support. And we proudly believe he was one of our greatest champions. I would say even our favorite fan. He stood firmly for cultural awareness, often participating in meaningful discussions about the social and economic realities of Borinquen, Puerto Rico. Dr. Poetry myself had the honor, of meeting Dada on the island, a moment forever remembered through his warm smile and unforgettable strong hugs. He loved deeply and showed it openly, especially towards Miss Cheesecake and Cosmic Oracle, whom he held in high regard. Though Dada's bodega, I honored and shared that New Yorican spirit with him that connected us both. Well, he's a South Bronx kid just like me, and Dada carried the unmistakable charisma of Carlito's Way style accent paired with a sharp wit that could stop negativity in its tracks. His quick verbal comebacks were never rooted in harm, but in protection of unity and respect within the community. He uplifted many voices, including Zakan, DJ Mario, Queen Black Radio, AMAC, J Smooth, oh my God, Nasty. There were so many of them, and so many others who felt seen and appreciated through his support. Rada Dada's love for music, especially jazz, was ever present in his conversations. One song that reflected his spirit was the Tito Nieves' heartfelt rendition of I'll always love you for the rest of my days, a sentiment that beautifully captures how we will always feel about him. We celebrated Dada while he was with us, inviting him to share his light with the world because we knew how special he was. His legacy remains alive in every voice he encouraged, every truth he spoke, and every heart he uplifted. Rada Dada loved us, and we will always love him. Rest peacefully in power, beloved elder. Your shares continue through us. Whew. I want to give some snaps out to Rada Dada, y'all. I love it. For Rada Dada, this is not easy. This was not easy.
You got through it though.
Right.
You did that.
You are.
This is for you, Dada. How about that, Dada? You got me getting hot over here because of you. It's in the corner. In the corner. You got me in the corner for real.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Cosmic, talk to me. I mean, I know you guys understand what I was saying. Y'all felt that.
Yes.
You know it.
Yes.
Did I lie? Was I lying?
No. I mean, you were so on point with everything that you expressed. My goodness. Oh man, I'm like, where's my tissue?
Right. Trying to hold it together here. You did well. You got through that. You did that.
You did very good.
You did that.
Good. I think I need a drink.
I know.
Right? Hello, because God.
Look,
Listen.
Absolutely.
can we just get one for Dada?
We
I
will.
know.
Pa arriba. Everybody, pa arriba. Pa abajo. Pa'l centro. Pa dentro. Rada Dada, I love it. Shouts out, like he used to say, shout outs. All right, we got through that. Miss Cheesecake, thank you. That was so beautiful what you did.
Oh, yes.
How was the process? What was it? What did you go through when you were making that video? Tell us how you felt. I want to hear it. I'm sorry.
I was in my feelings. But I was thinking about like all the different things that I remember him like saying and presenting, especially on the stereo app, especially even behind the scenes. He liked his granny panties now and badass nurses and Puerto Rico and big back snacks and no pachiche. He said what he said. I was like, let me throw all this together and then cultivate a video of a bodega in the sky, because this is where he at right now. Turned up.
That was beautiful. You captured every moment. I really love what you did there. The seniors of stereo. Shout out to Queen Black Radio. That was beautiful. I just gotta say, you really. And then you had what I love about it is that you had the no bochinche. You know, that was one of my words. You know, him and I would say no bochinche. You know, don't be coming over here with no bochinche. You know. And I heard something that you mentioned there, that he wasn't about I'm a paraphrase because I caught it. I heard that he was about not paying attention to some rumors, some things that are not real. Can you speak on that? Because that was something that, like, he was so neutral. He didn't want to be.
He was so neutral.
Can you speak on that real quick? Because you felt the need to put that there, and that's important because that says a lot right there about Dada.
Oh yeah, so like I just like, as I was sitting through the process of everything, cultivating the videos and just trying to capture like different versions of him. That one in particular stood out to me because he wasn't on that bullshit. I'm not about to sit here and entertain the shenanigans of you being mad at this one and you being mad at this one. Not doing that. So he would always address those things and remind everybody, like, at the end of the day, it's about love. Like, why are we in this weird space?
I'm so glad you said that because I lived it. Everyone knows that. I won't get into it too much, but there were times where I got along with a lot of folks, and there was a situation where maybe, you know, somebody didn't get along with, you know, we had differences with other people, and he would come in the room and he wasn't about all that mess. And he would tell me on the side. There was a time I was mad at him. I was like, you know, Dada, you're not seeing things clearly. And he would give me a whole ear full. He's like, let me tell you something. And he would break it down to me. Only him and I would know exactly what was spoken. And I always gave him that grace because I felt that he meant well. He did not want the beef. He didn't want any of that. Even with his own son, like his son would have issues. You know, we would have like situations, and he didn't care. We were all there. And he would say, you know, at the end of the day, this is what is it about? This is about family. He would always say that it's about family.
Right.
So, I love Rada. All right, Cosmic, I saved you last because I know you were his Mae West.
Oh, yes, I was. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so, Miss Cheesecake, you captured everything. I was like, when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh. And Izzy, I also noticed that part that you just stated, because I had the same thing where, you know, he's very neutral. I won't go deep, but there was moments in time where, you know, him and I were, you know, communicating with the same people, and then those people, things happen, and he was very neutral. He understood. When I say understood, there's no under, there's no over. The man understood. And he would send me a message and be like, just so you know, I absolutely love and adore you, and I don't pay attention to any of that nonsense. I can't even exactly what he said, but he was like, none of that shit, or something like that. But I love that about him. And what a beautiful soul, truly. And he was our biggest fan. I swear. Izzy, when you said that, I'm like, absolutely. And I felt like, I mean, the man came into, when I was doing a lot of regular shows, he would come in and he would be there the whole time and drop his comments. He posted stuff on my posts all the time. Then he would hit me in the back and be like, oh my goodness, Cosmic, that right there just opened my mind. You know, oh God, Rada, I love you. And you'll always, always, always be in my heart. Yeah, so.
I just want to say something really quick about what you just said. Him being our fan, I say that in the most loving way, because every time I created a new piece, I would put it up on Stereo app. Yeah, those who listen. Those who be like, garbage. I don't care what people say. But what Dada said was important to me. Okay, because I would text it to him too on his phone. All right, just in case he wasn't around, he was on fan base, wherever he was at. He would get it on his cell phone, and he would get it on Stereo. Plus, he would get it on IG. I was all over the place because Dada was everywhere. Dada was on TikTok. Dada was on Facebook. He didn't really particularly care about Facebook so much, but he loved IG. He was on Stereo. He was he was everywhere, and he would always tell me, Izzy, keep going. Don't you ever stop. And he was like, you keep talking about you don't sing. You better stop that. And he would really get to me. And I would listen to him because he had an ear for music.
Yes. Musical genius. Truly a musical. And for those, a lot of people, I think a lot of folks know that, but do they really know the depths of his, you know, like I got that from him because we had some conversations, and him and I did a show. I forget who was up with us, and then it ended up just being him and I. And we were talking about so much. We're going into the vintage and all the Way West and just everything. But just listening to him talk, the wisdom, the profound wisdom of that man.
Yeah,
Chef's kiss.
It was beautiful. I have something from the last show that I want to present. You know, Rada was able to. He was with us. We invited him on the show. See, we celebrated Dada when he was alive. Okay, I don't say that arrogantly. I'm just saying, let's keep it a buck here. We shared with Rada. We loved Rada. We understood that Rada was important, that he was a very beautiful soul. And we invited him on Hear Me Out Poetry. And I believe it was episode 3. Oh, season 3, episode 3. Oh my goodness, I'm a mess. Season 3, episode 2, if I'm not wrong. And I want to share that with everyone today. I want to share a couple of stuff here that he did. You guys, this was something.
We have literally one of my favorite people on the face of this earth. As I've gotten to know this individual, he is a beautiful soul, full of laughter, full of light, full of love, and full of chancletas. And we have the one and only Rada Dada.
Dada's Jamaica. Let's go, Dada!
Yes,
Woo! We love Dada. Dada, no, you can't be quiet, Dada.
I'm not being quiet. I'm being careful.
What's going on? They're coming for you, Dada.
Well, I just want to say, I want to thank you guys for this opportunity to put me on the screen like this. You know, uh, you guys try to make me famous, by the way. Anyway,
Absolutely. You are famous. We can make something.
You already
Right.
are, darling.
well, what I always say. I try my best, in staying out the hot plate, but I don't know, man. They just keep pulling me back, man. I just don't understand that. So, but this right here, this is it right here. This is something special. This is family. I'm here with family, and I appreciate you guys, man. Because I see you
too, right back at you.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
We want to honor you today because Dada, in case you guys don't know who Dada is, Rada Dada is known for Dada's Bodega and for many other shows. He does a lot of music shows on different platforms. He's definitely started where we started at on stereo. Okay, shout out to stereo and the stereo community. But he's also, I'm not going to keep talking for you. And I'm going to tell you something, Dada, because I'm going to tell you right now. If you don't speak up, this is going to happen. This is going to happen to you. You're going to be, we're going to be really fighting today. We're going to be like this. This is going to happen to you.
Come on, why are you here? Let's go.
I want you. I don't think he hears the screaming man. But listen, Dada, tell the viewers, tell everyone, what is it where we can find you and what type of shows you do. And I know you love music, so please share with everyone, what is it that you what's your passion when it comes to podcasting and what you've been doing?
Well, in my virtual life, man, I was born and raised in stereo.com. That's where Rada Dada was actually created. And I was in there because my son brought me there, and Rada Dada, Rada Music. He got so many names, man. I don't even know who he is anymore. but so he looked at me one day. He said, "Pop, man, you're not doing music no more. I mean, you're just laying up in the bed. You're not feeling too well. You got to do something about yourself." And I said, "What am I going to do?" He said, "Pop, I got something for you." And I said, "What you got for me?" "I got stereo for you." I said, "Son, I don't need a radio." So, no, it's not a radio, Pop. It's not a radio. It's a podcast, where you can do music, where you can meet people, you can help people with their problems. And he said, "There's only one thing I want to ask you to do." And I said, "What's that?" "There's about 15 young ladies that they need a father. I want you to adopt them."
Oh.
So, I looked at him and I said, "Son, are you crazy?" He said, "No, I'm not crazy, and I know that they will adore you and love you,
Sure enough.
So, I said, "You know what? I'm going to do this for you, son, because you give me an opportunity to do something with myself." So I adopted all these women, I got a lot of daughters. In social media.
He does, and he's special. Everybody loves Dada. That sounds like another show. Everybody loves Dada. That sounds like a show. Everybody loves Dada. That's a good show. I don't know, man. My brain is always working. I can't help it. I'm an Aquarius.
Good.
Let me write that down. Let me stop.
Oh man, memories.
That right there. I don't know, y'all. That is when you see that. I want to know your feet. We're definitely gonna need a clinic, Miss Cheesecake, today.
Yep.
We're definitely gonna need a clinic because when I just see all that, I get all,
Yeah.
I get in my feelings only because why am I here? I do not want to be here. Why I get in my feelings? Yeah, now it works, right? It cuts me on front when sometimes I feel like this is like on a mind of its own.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to give a big virtual hug, love, kisses to Rada Dada Junior, Rada Dai, his son, Lippy, right? His daughter, um, and I know this his uncle, his Rada's brother, uncle, and also a special woman who I was able to meet in Puerto Rico. I just want to say a few words about this because when I first met her, I met Dada in Puerto Rico, and when I met her, I met a friend that Dada knew for over, I want to say 30, 40, 50, maybe a lot of years because they've known each other since he was 15. She was 15. She knew Dada. And we know Dada was in his 70s, okay? So they were in Puerto Rico and he was having a time of his life, yeah. He was so happy. And this woman, her and I exchanged numbers. I don't know, she was from New York. She had that it was just wonderful to hear them laugh at each other and talk when I saw them together. And she really, really loved Dada as well. And I want to give a big special shout out to Ivelisse, also known as La Negra. That is what Dada used to call her, Negra. And I love you for that. I love her for reaching out to me, talking to me, letting me know every step of the way of Dada. She understood I really cared, and she knew Dada cared as well, because I scared him at the airport when I
I remember that story.
I creeped up on Dada in uniform and I was like, boom. It was so funny. You had to see his face.
Amazon woman coming to the loop.
He was like, damn, Izzy, if I knew you were that tall, I would have put on something else. I remember. So a big shout out to them. They were having a great time talking about good old days. I saw the dynamics between them and I knew there was definitely love and history. So my condolences to her as well, and to the family, to everyone who loved Dada. His son, I know, loved him. I know he's going through it, and his daughter. So definitely. I also want to say that on here, I put a link. They have a GoFundMe. I don't know if I put it here, but there is a GoFundMe. If ladies, if you have it, can you let me know? I'll just put it on here really quick, because they are trying to make they're asking for contributions for his funeral expenses. Okay, we have been contributing, but if anyone out there finds it in their heart and could and can contribute to Rada Dada's funeral expenses, we would greatly appreciate it. The family would appreciate it. But yeah, this is he was funny. He was just so funny. But yeah, Miss Cheesecake, I think it's a perfect opportunity for us to. What do you think? Should we go into the clinic?
We need the clinic. The clinic is muy necesito.
Oh, yes. Very good, Cosmic. She's there. Yeah.
Clinic.
It's definitely needed. We definitely need the clinic. I'm aware of it. But Miss Cheesecake, really quick, can you just tell us before we go in, what is the clinic going to be about today?
Okay, so today's clinic is going to be talking about grief. And hold on, let me go to my notes real quick because I put something here. So prompt this week. In English, we say I'm grieving. In poetry, I say, and then I'm going to break that down over there in the clinic. We're going to break it down.
All right. Well, here we go, y'all.
Come on in. Welcome. Glad to have you here. I'm Miss Cheesecake, and you are now in the Poetic Clinic. Let's chat. Come on in, have a seat, kick back, relax, and rest your feet as we dive into the mental avenues you may feel are your defeat. But at the end of the day, it's my treat to have you in my seat as we dive off into the things I like to call a mental feast. Push your pride aside and your emotions in it as we take a ride down to the Poetic Clinic.
Let me stamp in your mental passport as we travel to lands beyond. Things that you thought were your last resort, I will help you define and continue to be your support, poetically and prophetically lifting you up. The mental aspects of poetry that overflows your cup, diving into the deeper aspects and channel yourself, healing, feeling, and validating yourself through the mental chemistry, spiritual ministry, and poetry. Right here at the Poetic Clinic with your favorite dessert, real solid, no debates, with your mental poetic vibes with Miss Cheesecake. Let's dive into the trauma, the pain, resentment, and fear. You might get a few laughs and definitely will shed a few tears. But no worries, I got your back and your front too. As we dive into the psychological passages of what you've been through. So make yourself comfortable, have a seat on the couch, and trust and believe I hold your hand through it. And that's a word of mouth with your favorite dessert. Straight to the point, no debates. In the Poetic Clinic with your girl, Miss Cheesecake.
Welcome to another episode of the Poetic Clinic. We are gathered here today to celebrate the life and legacy of Khalif Rada Sr., Rest in Power King, that's Pops. So the poetry prompt this week is, in English, we say I'm grieving. In poetry, I say, deep down in the depths of my soul, I feel a sudden emptiness that I can no longer control. Being physically gone away or even physically alive on earth, there's a part of me that knows you have to go, but a big part of me wants you to stay, fighting, combing with cognitive dissonance, questioning my thoughts. Am I going crazy? I just want to know where I am, how I stand, breathe, think, and feel when sometimes I question if reality is even real. Your absence makes the heart grow fonder, but in ways that I never thought my mind would go and wander. Missing you. Damn, that hurt. Okay. Hi ladies, how are y'all today?
You.
I'm still on mute. I had to.
Woosah, we gotta get it together. Hold on.
I'm just like, I'm in one of those.
Ooh, yep.
I just need a little air. But that was so beautiful, Miss Cheesecake.
Had to do that.
I'm trying to I didn't even try to front, because usually I'm pretty good, but it's not easy, Miss Cheesecake.
Mm-mm.
But what you said on grief is right on point. Thank you for that. We appreciate you for that. And it's all right to cry. It's all right. I mean, we always I'm the first one. I'm always telling everybody to cry, and I'm the last one that be trying to. I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to. I go in and I'm like, but sometimes it's okay. I call it like fight or flight, because it's almost like you're trying to control all your feelings, and that's when you just sometimes have to let go.
That's true.
And allow it to flow through you. You know. We're gonna give Miss Cheesecake a moment. Cosmic, I know you have something that you wanted to
elaborate. I had to have my little breakdown moment.
Of course,
I already know Rada Dada is yelling, get your shit together.
He loved Miss Cheesecake. He loved Cosmic. He loved y'all so much. I'm telling y'all, he loved everyone, but he would go in there with Cheesecake. What you talk? Oh, you getting naughty, huh? Like, what you eating? And we were always.
Oh man,
Miss Cheesecake, you made me cry. I'm trying to tell you, I'm really good at trying to.
What are we doing over here? I'm holding it together. I'm like, shit.
I usually say we're gangsters here, but you know what? No. Why do I feel like Tina Turner
I'm
in
not,
this jacket? Like when she went to the hotel and was like, "I'll give you everything." Remember
I'm screaming. You take it, take
this
it.
jacket?
I
I'm trying
love
to be
you.
funny to make y'all laugh. Um, 'Cause I'm really trying. I'm trying. Okay, here we go. Cosmic, you say something. It's your turn.
Shake it off. I got a piece
Okay.
about in this moment as you ladies pull yourselves together. No, I'm kidding. I will read what I wrote. And this is a dedication, as I say, a dedication across the veil. Dada? All right. They say grief arrives like a storm, but no one tells you how quiet it can be, how it sits beside you in the in between moments where laughter used to amplify just a little louder. You crossed over gently, as if the spirit world whispered your name, and you said, "All right, now, all right, I'm on my way." And still, it doesn't feel real. Because not too long ago, you were here, sending your voice, your laughter, your presence through the airwaves, reminding me that what I speak lands. You would say, "Miss Theatrics," with that smile I could hear even without seeing your face. And I would laugh because you saw me, not just the voice, not just the performance, but the essence, the truth within it. Grief is a strange thing. It doesn't just mourn the absence, it honors the imprint. And you left fingerprints on my spirit in your encouragement, in your humor, in the way you listened, not to respond, but to feel. I keep thinking I hear another message from you, another moment of you saying, "Now you know." You was on point with that one. Or, "Well, you know, all my pockets got corners." And I'll smile, waiting for the laughter that always followed. But now the silence speaks differently. And I'm aware that grief is not the end of connection, it is the transformation of it, because I feel you. Not in the way I used to, but actually deeper, softer, like a presence that doesn't need sound to be known. They say elders carry wisdom, but you carry joy with yours, a lightness, a reminder that even in this heavy world, we are allowed to laugh. We are allowed to be, to witness each other without judgment. And so today, I don't just grieve you, my friend. I thank you for every moment you chose to show up, for every word you sent my way, for seeing me when I didn't even realize I needed to be seen. You may have crossed over, but you are not gone, because energy does not disappear, it transforms. And I know you are somewhere right now, laughing, probably saying, "Now don't you get too serious on me, Miss Theatrics." Don't worry, I won't. I carry both the laughter and the tears, because that is what grief has taught me over the years. That love does not end, it simply changes form. So as I speak, as I continue, as I open my voice to the collective, know this: you are still here in every word that dares to be felt, in every truth that refuses to be quiet, in every moment I choose to show up fully, authentically, theatrically. This one is for you, Dada. Rest gently, elder. Your laughter lives on, and Cosmic is still speaking. Poem.
Man.
That was beautiful. Mm.
Oh, that was. Where's my water?
You got it. You got it. We strong. We some emotional gangsters. It's all right.
Emotional gangsters. That's right.
Oh man.
I got to smile, so I just. All right, y'all. Like that was beautiful. That was so beautiful. That's definitely a letter to you from you to Dada. You really, really captured exactly the type of things I've witnessed when you were in front of when Dada and you were having conversations and those late night talks in the bodega, or in Miss Cheesecake's room, or when you were having your own shows and he would pop in. Um, aren't we so lucky and blessed that we spend time with Dada? Like
Absolutely.
I sleep well at night knowing that I'm really connected with that soul.
Mm-hmm.
We should be happy that we celebrated him before he went.
Mm-hmm.
I love that about this situation. That's the only thing I love is that I was able to spend some, and I wanted more. I wanted
Of
more
course.
time. I wanted him to cook some seafood for us. You know, I wanted him to cook me some food. I had spoke about meeting with him in New York, and he was coming back to Puerto Rico, and I wanted to do all that. Yeah. In fact, I wasn't gonna recite, but I'm gonna recite something that I already published. By the way, it's on my most recent album, Poetess, and I wrote this piece when I found out that Dada was really in critical condition. He was not very well. I immediately started writing this. I don't know why I wrote this the way I did, but every time I get a phone call or I get some bad news, I think that it's going to be my mom. So when I found out that Dada was not well, I just started writing this because there was things I was seeing at work. There were things, it just, sometimes I get called Wonder Woman, but I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes it's hard being Wonder Woman. I know I'm not Wonder Woman, but I get looked at like that because I managed to try to act like I got it all together. But there are times where I'm so used to being strong and overcoming fight or flight and being hyper vigilant and always catching things before others do to try to make sure that I protect and I do what I have to do. But when I get certain news, certain things that I have trouble processing right away, I put it under my makeup. I put it under my shades, beneath all this, and I start writing, but I don't want to talk about the situation because I'm trying to make sure that that situation doesn't happen. So I start writing, and I don't know if anybody could understand that out there. Here we go. Did I tell you that I'm a cop and I see so much? Did I tell you I watch not only my parents, but my aunts, my uncles, my friends, my co-workers standing silently, gracefully on a line where they receive loss after loss as their parents fade like photographs left too long in the sun, in the rain? Did I tell you that I see sickness creep in like an intrusive guest? Did I tell you how strength becomes weak, how youth slips through fingers like water, how minds once sharp as blades soften into, I'm sorry, I forgot, of forgotten names? Did I tell you that I wonder when did we forget? Forget the sacrifices sewn into the seams of the 1940s, the callous hands of the 50s, the marching feet of the 60s, the disco hustles of the 70s, and the we are the world of the 1980s, the restless ambition of the 90s? Did I tell you that they were children once too? And you will be a parent too, clutching memories like fragile glass, holding thoughts you once shouted from the fearless part of your journey. As your hair turns gray, as your speed slows to match someone else's slow pace, did I tell you that beauty fades, but wisdom grows roots roots that twist deep into centuries, roots that hold stories of ancestors who planted trees so we could breathe. Did I tell you how youthful hands, once full of energy, become strange time lines, etched like rivers flowing toward the ocean of experience? Did I tell you I see it all? Across every race, across every culture, every age, the universal truth that time is undefeated. Did I tell you how sad it is to watch children forget the weight their parents carried? The nights they worked while dreams slept, while they slept, the sacrifices that built bridges so we could run faster, climb higher. Did I tell you that I'm a cop and I see so much? Did I tell you? I see the cycle, the turning of the wheel, the way we all become the elders we once ignored, the way we all hold on to the fearless boldness of youth as the world shows us and we learn at the pace of memory. Away like an open flame, attempting to escape a natural transition as their youth escapes their grasp like wind through open hands, dissolving like morning's mist under the rising sun. They're not ready to close their eyes. They don't want to miss a thing while we watch the twinkles in the skies evolve into youth, disregarding respect we have for time. Trust the truth that youth runs from us like sand through an hourglass, and it continues to fade like deep ink, like blood on a pavement. I tell you, did I tell you that I'm a cop and I see so much? And I'm a cop waiting for my time to be up. Did I tell you? Oh boy.
Is excuse me. Oh, I didn't realize that, because I love that piece and I didn't realize where it stemmed from, and that just made, I have chills right now. That just gave me even more
Right.
of a love for the piece. So I just, wow.
When you're a cop and you see so much, but then when it hits your side of the world, you have to continue being the one for everyone. See, because you're the cop that sees so much. You have to be graceful and strong because you got to be there for everybody. And everybody's like, no, you got to take time out for yourself. But you know how that is.
Oh yeah.
You don't even have to be a cop. You could be a nurse. You could be a mom of five. You could be a mom that's so used to being the one to resolve everything for everyone. I speak of being a cop because in mine you can't even cry because then emotionally you look like you're not stable. So you have to be a superwoman. And like today I got some other bad news that I was in here like right preparing for this show and you guys know what it was. And I'm like, I gotta be like, okay. And then I have a video that I want to play also really quick. See, I love Dada so much that no matter what we did, I always wanted to throw his name in there. He never understood that too. He was like, why y'all trying to make me famous? He's like, Izzy, you trying to make me famous? And I'm like, you are. You're Dada. I used to tell him that you're famous. You know, Dada's brother. You're Dada. Right? And so do you guys remember when we were talking about the poets that can't sleep?
Yep.
Remember that the poets that don't sleep. This was with it all started because it reminded me of Chiz. There was a time when we were all not sleeping. I don't know what was going on with the poets.
Night owl.
Right.
We were just not sleeping. It was 3 or 4 in the morning. You could see us on stereo, and we're like, and I'm like, I'm not tired. And it was like 6 in the morning. I'm still here. I'm not tired. And like, Chiz was like, I haven't slept for 2 days, and I'm like, what is going on? Well, I did something, and I mentioned Dada in there somehow. I talk about Dada's Bodega. I mentioned him. I want to bring that piece out because he loved this. He loved all of them, but because I mentioned his name, and I hope y'all like it. Not you.
Ain't no curtain call at 3 a.m. My window squeaks like a tired violin, and the street is trying to sing me a thirsty lullaby that won't quench my thirst, that I don't trust. I'm the type who counts poetic bars in my head, not sheep, nah. Train tracks and stairwell doors being slammed instead. And say it isn't so. The city's dripping, brass out the vent. You already know. Can't you see the mugs in the kitchen glare with coffee halos, forgetting that beast below? The steam rising like ghosts from yesterday's white pages. Don't forget, I got 77 notebooks, stacked taller than last winter's sacred prayers. There's layers to this dish. Each page breathes a dare, a bite of the 3 a.m. boogie down, feisty and spicy air. And I pace the blocks and avenues in my mind. Oops, my feet are stuck in poetic, erotic rhymes. It's about time, 'cause I'm trying to squeeze a line from a ache that's in my chest, like squeezing a lemon for truth, for time, yes. Interrupted by police sirens, skating on gray matter of my thoughts. But I ain't running, I'm not running. I'm listening to what slept through the superstitious, creative side of dawn and the rat-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta of the radiator. The 21 bus sneaking up at Dada's bodega on HMOP's Floetic Corner. The breath of a hope that we won't quit. But I spill metaphors like evaporated milk on the table. So wake up and smell the Bustelo. Come on, wake up and smell that Bustelo, y'all know. That smell is in the rooms, and my pen is possessed. It's possessed, pointing toward myself, and my internal moon is I am Earth. Oh shit, it's already noon. That's right, it's noon. Hey, so sleep? Yeah, sleep. Yeah, you old rumor. You slick. Rumor, you're slick. So stay away, 'cause I'm casing the night. Ooh, can you hear it? It's more better chisels, blues, and brass, and floristics every night and every day, molding my poetry like it's Play-Doh and air-dry clay. Hey, every block, every avenue gives me a stanza as I enter Dada's bodega, where we share stories, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah, our love isn't for sale, but I'm the poet who forgot to charge our dreams with sleep. Oh, I forgot. So I borrowed his shoes. I borrowed his shoes and straightened out the boogie down crooked heart until my yawning shakes the wooden blinds and says, start again, start cheap, start sharp. When sunrise blesses the housing bricks, I jot a line or two that maybe, just maybe, we kept poetry free in front view, y'all. Because you know what? We need to keep poetry in the front view for the world to see. The Bronx is loyal to my poetry, and it hears me out even when I'm restless. It's true poetry. And I, the sleep-deprived poet, exhilarated with spoken words as you say some of it. Say some for cheesecake with extra drizzle for Granny Wowzers. In tune with cosmic oracles, enjoyment of the view of the coastal Apache, listening to more better chisels, blues, Nettles here, nettles there, there I am, the poet that doesn't sleep, cause I heal within my own soul. Speak to self as I am Dr. Poetry. Well, we hear deaf poetry out. We are the poets that don't sleep, y'all.
I'm over here like.
I said take the 21 bus. There's a bus that goes through the Bronx that's called the 21 bus to Dada's Bodega. I was like, take the 21 bus to Dada's Bodega. And I was like, Dada. And it's like, it's so funny because it didn't, I included him and he was saying, what do I got to do with that? You don't know? You're part of Hear Me Out Poetry. I gotta bring something back, y'all. We're gonna see this right here. This is more of when Dada was with us, and we had him on Hear Me Out Poetry. Shout out to this. This is definitely one of those things that we have to keep listening. Listen to his breakdown in the Bronx about the Bronx. See you. There you go.
But I do have something to say about the Bronx. You spoke about the Boogie Down Bronx, and it was also known as the Burnout Bronx.
Yeah, sure did.
Bronx was on fire.
It was.
Now, the thing about it is that they call it the Burnout Bronx, and the blame for that fiasco was put on the black and brown people that were residents of the Bronx. But that's not who burnt the Bronx up. It was the landlords.
Right.
Automatically to get money, insurance money.
Insurance fraud.
Right, insurance fraud. And they got people to burn their buildings so then they can collect that money.
Slumlords.
There was no black and brown landlords at the time, especially during those times.
A lot of Jewish.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of Jewish owners, landlords. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when they started building those housing projects. Because I remember being a little girl and walking through lots of lots, emptied out, burnt out lots, and burnt out buildings. Say really quick. Let me just tell y'all really quick. I'm gonna stop it right there, because I wanna just take a moment to let everyone know out there that he reminded me of him and my brother had a lot in common, by the way. When it came to things that went down in the Bronx, he would talk about the 60s. He even talked about content creators. He says that they were the first content creators because they would create content in the streets. I never heard anything like that, but Dada said that. And I'm going to look for that clip in a minute. But before I do that, I want to definitely play a couple of things that I want to play a video that I created. It was very difficult for me to create this video because, like I was telling the ladies, I laughed and I cried at the same time. I looked like the Joker. I was like, and then I'm crying and laughing at the same time because hanging out with Dada, whether it was the bodega, whether it was the pause room, whether wherever we were on stereo, late at night, hanging out with him felt like we were literally in front of the bodega. Well, we were inside a bodega.
Yep.
And the conversations and the singing, we were delirious, like 2 or 3 in the morning, just singing and carrying on. And the jokes, the way he would snap back at, oh, excuse me, like he would. And you're gonna hear how he would just start singing. He didn't care how he sounded. And I got this one. This is definitely this is for you, Dada. I remember you, and we all do. We all love you up there. I know you bad. I know you're laughing. This is for you.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. Okay, what's going on?
A little Sunday pause room, you know what I'm saying? With some honey butter jazz.
Okay.
I want to be with the people that I miss. You know what I'm saying?
I miss you too.
Izzy, do you realize that what we did today we did a trifecta show. Well, not a show, but a share. We shared a trifecta. You know,
Yes.
we went into the Morris Latin words. You know, we had a discussion. We started out with a discussion. You know what I'm saying? That was also in the healing purpose, and we ended up with poetry, and you know what I'm saying? That was also in the healing purpose, and we ended up with poetry, and we entice people to also contribute. You know what I'm saying? To give of themselves. So you know, we did a hell of a thing today. You know, pat yourself on
Absolutely.
the back, sister.
Pat yourselves. Pat yourself. Pat yourself. Everybody gets a pat and a hug. I love it.
Everybody gets a pat. Let's go.
You
Let's
get a hug.
go.
You get a hug.
Highway. I
True
found love.
love.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
let me
All
stop.
True
right, Izzy.
love will never
So
die.
I've been
So
told.
I've been told, but
Now
now I must find what is finally goodbye. I
well,
know.
Oh, I was like,
his
whoa.
lips were gently saying, "Honey,
I
I
love
love
you.
Mm.
you."
I love you.
He held me in desperation.
I
I
can't
thought
believe.
it was a revelation.
Listen,
And
And
then
then
El
she
Desgraciado walked
walked
out.
out. I
y'all
found
remember this guy?
love on a
Not to
two-way.
wait.
Uh,
All this, no, listen to this. Because of all this singing, we didn't make one sale out the bodega. Not one. Okay.
what are you
Not one
selling?
sec.
Are you really selling something?
Damn right, I'm selling. I'm selling sandwiches. I'm selling beer. Selling soda. I'm selling ices. I'm selling Lucy's. You know,
Lucy's.
What's the
Listen,
name?
so
Lucy.
sodas,
Lucy's in the
sodas. You
sky.
must be
Lucy's
from
in
New
the
York.
corner.
Izzy, stay in my corner.
Oh,
Woo.
Mm, I
I
love you.
love that, but use the corner,
Oh,
honey. The corner. You're gonna put me in the. Nobody puts Izzy in a corner.
Hold up, man. You are
No,
you
there
sending
you
me to the
go.
corner? Cause there's no messages there.
No, you're the one that said for Izzy to stay in your corner. What is your? Oh, get up. Battery
I
mm,
check.
said stay in my
Battery
corner.
check.
I didn't say
It was.
stay in the corner. Am I hearing things? Am I hearing things?
Oh, fix the battery for God's sake.
What you mean fix the back? What? In my earpiece?
In your earpiece, Dada. You were doing great.
I
You were doing
was. Thank you.
marvelous. I
Yes.
loved it. I
All right.
loved it. See? Now
Oh
you
man,
have a.
somebody just left a message. I guess you
Oh,
wasn't
this
here
is
for the early or notification.
I don't want
There
to
was an early
close my
notification.
eyes.
another
I'll
sneaker.
always love you.
What a mix.
Bonacera,
All that
Senorita
you
Bonacera.
are.
It's so
Oh,
hard.
Yeah,
yes.
I have a final word. Something that Dr. Poetry, my sister Izzy, she has immortalized something that I say, and that is shout out for everybody.
Shout outs for everybody. You know, he does that so well. He does that like Oprah Winfrey when she says, "You get a car, you get a car, you get a car." He walks into the room and he's like, "You get a shout out, you get a shout out." We all get shout outs. So,
Izzy,
yes.
I wanna encourage you, man, to keep pushing your poetry, keep pushing everybody in the realm of poetry and words expression, because I mean, look what you just did. You just you made people get into themselves and express themselves. And that's also part of your job in this life, woman.
That's also my job in this world. Woman, did I hear Izzy? Stay in my corner.
Oh my goodness. I
He had
remember that as if it was yesterday. That is
Right.
That was something. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, fix the battery. You talking about my ear?
That I spit my water. I remember that. I remember as if it was yesterday because I was drinking.
The battery, the battery. Oh, Dada, Dada, Dada. There's so many more. There's so many more. I gotta get those. I have them. I have the clips. I have. The thing about it, him and Zakan were funny too because there was one. There was. I have them here. I gotta. I'm gonna play them in a minute, but I want to go back to. I'm gonna play something called Fight or Flight. I'm gonna play this video while I get the clip that I really want to play. Fight or Flight also speaks to grieving, and I want to play that video because when I'm grieving, I think we all. I gotta speak for my experience right now. I go from up and down, and I sometimes go straight to anger, and I go to anger because I start getting angry at the fact that I said this the other day on stereo. I think it was it may have been Shino's room or Ron J's room. One of the guys, I was in there, and I'm like, I'm the worst when it comes to, because I'm the type that I get upset when I'm emotional. Like I'm mad that I'm emotional, angry that I'm sad, and that I'm in my feelings. And I try to do the best that I can. It's easier for me to just be like serious than to really start breaking down and crying. That's always been the thing. But among all those things, I think fight or flight is what keeps me that way, because it's like my body's trying to do either or. It's hard, yeah. I'm not kidding. It's one of those things where you really try to stay grounded, but it's hard to keep moving forward. In fact, I wanna play this thing. Hold on a second. I'm all over the place. Give me 1 second, ladies. And we're gonna do this here. I thought I had it there, but I don't.
But Miss Cheesecake, don't you have something to? You have something very specific in regards to grieving.
Yes.
Right. You're going to recite, right, Miss Cheesecake?
Yes.
Yes. Please. I was like, I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Guys, bear with me. It's one of those days.
Okay, you are fine.
Understandably so.
We got each other. We got each other. We got each other.
Thank you. Okay, Miss Cheesecake, I got you. You let us know. We'll mute up.
All right. I'm ready. Okay. Now, all right, I got my shit together. Rada Dada said, get your shit together because all that emotional shit. Relax. Okay. So, in contribution to the topic of grieving, I wanted to take some time real quick and kind of go over the process of it, as well as reciting for those out there that don't understand the process of it. Grief is a natural, intense emotional response to the loss of a loved one, relationship, or major life change, often causing emotional, physical, and mental distress. It is a personal process rather than a linear checklist, frequently characterized by waves of sadness, anger, confusion, and exhaustion that generally lessen over time. The stages of grief: denial, shock or disbelief about the loss; anger, frustration directed at oneself, the deceased, or circumstances; bargaining, ruminating on what if scenarios; depression, intense feelings of sadness, loneliness, or helplessness; acceptance, reaching a state of adjustment to the new reality. Symptoms of grief: emotional, overwhelming sadness, anxiety, guilt, numbness, and anger; physical exhaustion, trouble sleeping, loss of appetite and physical pain; cognitive confusion, difficulty concentrating, and trouble making decisions. Um, Types of grief: normal grief, painful feelings that come in waves and improve over time. Um, Anticipatory grief, experiencing grief before an impending loss. Disenfranchised grief, loss that is not openly acknowledged or socially supported, such as a loss of a pet or a stigmatized relationship. Um, the complicated or the prolonged grief, intense, long lasting grief that interferes with daily functioning, how to cope, self care, maintain a routine, eat well, and get enough sleep, support. Gotta have your support system. Reach out to friends and family or join support groups as recommended. Um, Express yourself. Allow yourself to feel emotions and express them through writing, art, or talking. Patience. Understand that healing takes time and there is no right way to grieve. And if need be, which is really like the most important thing, seek counsel if daily tasks become impossible or if you feel stuck. And then to go into my piece, this is for you, Rada Dada. It's called Rada Dada. You not being here is still a mystery. Sometimes I question the universe, but it's all a part of our history. The circle of life, birth, and death. But truly having an understanding of energy transcending, a constant rebirth, your energy lives on. I gained such a respect for you because I told you that you reminded me so much of my father. As a matter of fact, y'all's birthdays was 2 days apart. Libra scales balancing such a resilient heart. I thank you for your wisdom and guidance, advice, jokes, and humor, and your continuous support of my mental health journey, as well as my poetry. Trust and believe I'm not on no woe is me shit. Just know that the love we have for you transcends time, a true eternity. The Rodiverse lives on, and the marathon continues, opening our hearts like a dance floor, the greatest salsa venue. Poem.
Oh my God, Miss Cheesecake. I tip my hat off to you and Cosmic. You guys have been reciting so beautifully as usual, but y'all got it together.
Barely.
I have not been able to. I'm still processing, and I
Yep.
love what you wrote. I can't. I was unable to even write anything right now.
Which
I
happens.
love. I've been. I mean, I wrote when I found out he was sick, but I have not written. And I know me. I can't write unless I'm. You know what I mean? Because I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
That was so beautiful, Miss Cheesecake. That was so beautiful, and it's so honest. It's beautiful. I know he's snaps out.
Dappity-doo-dah-day. What do you say, Miss Cheesecake?
Snappy,
Crack
nappy.
Snappy, rabbit-dabby-doo.
Snappy, crappy, dappy doo. There we go. Snappy, dappy doo. There we go.
Oh man, shouts out. Oh well, I have a little. It's like a little clip from when we were singing that day on the panel with Dada. He sang a song that later on I found out that song was a song that he would sing with his kids when he was with them, and including La Negra's kids. Shout out to La Negra once again, Ibanez. He would always sing that to his kids, and they knew the words. He spoke about that. But I have a clip of when he got into that song because I think he was like, I think Cosmic or somebody says, Dada, are you gonna sing or what? And he sang. And this is the clip. Hold on, let me do this so that we can get this out.
Dada, what's your song?
Whenever I start to think about you, my mind loses control. My heart gets a beat and the feeling come down hard and it shows. Wounds heal so. Who's doing?
Yeah, I heard that. He would sing whenever, like he was singing with all that. And he didn't care what anybody said. Anybody said. We're gonna take a quick break while I play this fight or flight video. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This is what I'm feeling right now. There's a reason why I wrote this. I wrote this a while back. Had nothing to do with Dada. Had nothing to do with it. But when we speak of grieving, grieving also looks like you can't even swallow. Like you can't breathe. You salivary glands. Like, and I go through that, and I keep myself busy. I've always been that person. People say, "Izzy, get busy," but behind all that, there's a lot of it. So, Miss Cheesecake, I appreciate you for speaking on Greedy Cosmic. I love the poetry. I love what you guys are saying. I am not prepared to speak on write anything about Dada right now, because when I tried, if I was to show you the paper, you'll start laughing because there's mascara on the paper. Because I was crying like a little baby, but not to say anything else. All right, y'all know what I was gonna say too. All right, this is fight or flight. It's part of grieving. It's one of the symptoms too. Here we go. I'm frozen to the bone. That's what the psych says. He says my heaviness and darkness is in my soul. He says I'm cold and I'm cold, but he's wrong. I am a soul. So this one's for the ones who've been on that mode of fight or flight, trying to remain alive, living on survival mode. It's a feeling and it'll go away, but it's an addiction to living a life we don't love, preferring to do it all alone, smiling and smiling all along, singing to the wrong song. But today, it's a new day, and we control our fate. This one's for the fighter on fight or flight mode. When you're wondering how to regulate your highs and your lows, we are living in constant state of stress, conditioned to the rush of the arousal, conditioned to addiction, to the emotion, not being able to control the outcome, because we can't predict our future outcome, but we on threat or danger in this outer and inner world we can't see. We're living with TDC, threat, duress, and coercion. We feel the suffocation, so some of us, we turn to meditation, avoiding that detrimental medication. It's like we feel this overwhelming lack of patience. We do realize they want us to be the perfect patient. It's our brain and body not in homeostasis. This one is for the ones who've been on that mode of fight or flight, trying to remain alive, living on survival mode. It's a feeling and we know it will go away, but it's an addiction to living a life we don't love, preferring to do it all alone, smiling and smiling all along, singing to the wrong songs. But today, it is a new day, and we control our fate. Fight or flight affects our nervous system. Enormous energy and resources are placed on the wrong images and mindsets. Our organism perceives danger, alternating a rush of adrenaline. Fight or flight, my heart rate increases, my energy decreases, pupils dilate, salivary juices can't control my respiration. Time to fight, time to hide, unbalanced, seeking to regenerate. But today I continue to speak to the fighter in me, no longer in solitude, but living in gratitude. No need of fight or flight, just taking it a bit easy, truly receiving the joy in my life, my joy for existence, having appreciation, celebrating my kindness when I know we all can change the way we think. Fight or flight, I speak to my body, my environment, and I'm kind to my time. No need to get back to the familiar or the highly analytical, over-focused state, just changing the scenario. And I never realized my addiction to my state of flight or flight. I was addicted to a life I didn't even like. Whether it was a relationship, despicable relatives, that cutthroat co-worker, I was addicted to a life I didn't even like. I say rise, speak up, be brave, don't let no one ruin your day. No one ruin your life. It's your life. You change your fate. So this one's for the ones who've been on that mode of fight or flight, trying to remain alive, living on survival mode. It's a feeling and I know it'll go away. It's an addiction to living a life we don't love, preferring to do it all alone, smiling all along, singing to the wrong songs. But today is a new day. We control our fate. I'm Dr. Poetry, and you're not alone. Fight or flight.
That one gets me every damn time. Just like,
right in the motherfucking tuchus, right there,
right. I'm just like, I have chills all over my body every time I hear that. Every single time. That's one of my all-time favorite pieces. One of, because there's multiple.
You you can't control certain things, right? It's like sometimes you feel like your body's like it's working on its own. You try to be cool, calm, collective, but your body has its own biological, physiological situation going on. And I know I had to go in there and because it's easier for me if I understand what
Right.
happening.
I get you.
I'm so cerebral sometimes and everything, you know, which is you guys know. All right, I got something here where Dada's speaking. I think this is the part where he's talking about the content creator, how they were in the Bronx. You know, let's see. I want to ask everybody to mute up so we can get this.
Bronx, I remember the Bronx like back in the 60s, back in the 70s.
Tell
But,
us.
but the concept of content creator, everybody just measure. But we were content creators way before social media,
Absolutely.
because, our playground was those empty lots, those burnout lots that you talked about. And we would create games, that was conducive to our happiness, to our survival. So we created the games, the street games, that's how we survived, and that was creating right there. We was creating that right on the spot, and I think that, a lot of credit should be given to the people that come from intense environments like the Bronx, I can go on and go on. But yeah, we were content creators way before.
I love that.
Yeah. Thank
You're
you for
so
that.
proud.
What do y'all think of
that part?
That makes a lot of sense. They was doing content creating before the cameras and all that shit came out. They had to create and use their imaginations for survival and fun. So that makes a lot of sense.
Oh man. I just think back about I listened to what he was saying and I never even thought about it like that.
Right?
And it reminded me of, I think I say that in the video, of when we were kids going, like that's why I say we share that experience when I was a kid growing up in the Bronx, and we would create games in the apartment because it was so dangerous to play outside. So we were creating content in our homes. I didn't realize that's what was happening. Now we do it on podcasts, but I was playing games like welfare.
Right. Oh my goodness. My brother and I
played welfare. I played face to face. Like, I was like, I would cover my papers and be like, Maria, yes, you got to fill this paper out. I would act like that.
You was being a caseworker?
I was being a caseworker because I would see my mom helping people. And my mom would always help like the Puerto Ricans that moved into the building that didn't speak English. So my mom was helping fill out the paperwork and I gotta fill this out. And then when my mom would go get food stamps and I would go with her and she would be like, so and so and so, oh, how pretty the little kids. And they would tell us, yeah, I can play there. But I was like, I'm gonna be that lady with the paperwork. Cosmic, come on, you played. I played too.
We played all, my brother and I was little Miss Bossy. I was always instructing because I'm 2 years older and I was instructing his tush to do this and all sorts of stuff and shows. Every single family gathering, I had a performance. And that's why I laughed because Rada Dada was like, how do you know? I mean, I know I come off a certain way sometimes, but it's not like, it was like he could see every ounce of me, you know what I mean? And it was just because I'm like, the theatrics. That's I've always been this way. That's why I tell people I'm authentically theatric.
No, he would say that. He would say that a lot to Cosmic. He would say, what's the matter? Why are you talking like that? What are you, in the 40s, 20s? What are you, Mae West? Oh, excuse me. Like, I was looking for that clip. I have it. I
know it's somewhere. I was looking for it too, and I'm just like, there's so much stuff, and I'm trying to find the one.
So much.
It was just him and I, but I think it's because it came when I'm looking for it. It shows other people, but it was like after they left, we stayed on. So I have to figure out where that's at because we had a good conversation.
He was always getting it. Before we go, I definitely want to I want to play Miss Cheesecake's video one more time.
Yes.
I thought it was so beautiful. I want, if you guys are tuning in, we're celebrating Rada Dada's, we're celebrating his life, but we're honoring him as well. And we dedicate this show to Rada Dada. Okay, we do. He was our beloved Rada Dada. And he was definitely like a father figure to many. And he would always say, sis, 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 depending on how he was feeling. I was his sis sometimes, and sometimes I was like his kid. So I was getting punked. You know, I'm like, come on. You know?
Or woman. Woman.
Woman. Woman, what are you? Oh, there's one that he says, Izzy, please don't embarrass me. You're embarrassing me. There's one that, because I think I said, I went, I was singing on purpose like that. And he said, Izzy, you're embarrassing me. There's so many things that I have that I gotta, one of these days, because it would have taken me pretty much a week because there's so much.
Right. Absolutely.
But definitely let's I'm gonna bring us down so we could play this, because this is definitely one of those wonderful shows. All right, yeah, let me do this.
You can bet your bottom dollar you are loved as you walk through the clouds in the beautiful skies above. We honor you for your wisdom, truth, and humor, cracking jokes and addressing unnecessary rumors. Call out all the real and let us know the deal. We love you, Rada Dada, and we adore you as you walk with our Maker at peace as He restores you. Big back snacks laid before you, and the baddest nurses, pretty granny panties on the floor. Turn up because that's what we doing for you. Salsa and jazz, dance floor guru.
Remember Bowser? Oh, that was my. Oh man, you're taking me back to my
Oh, I
childhood.
thought you was crying. Oh, okay. All right.
No.
All right. Can I proceed with this?
Please do.
Oh, excuse me, May West.
Two to you, it's what I'm supposed to do, yeah. I'm true to you.
Have a good.
What the hell is that?
The Magic Garden.
Man, don't embarrass me like that, Izzy. Yeah.
All right. Look, here go mine. Good night, my love. Pleasant dreams and
right.
sleep tight, by
What the hell was that?
He said, "Stop embarrassing." What is that?
Izzy, you embarrassing me. He said, Izzy, you embarrassing me. He said, what the hell was that? He said, what the hell was that? Oh my God. And you heard him when he said, excuse me. The May West. May West. He says, excuse me, May
a
West.
profoundly authentic person, soul, spirit, man.
He was what he was. He did not have no filter when it
Yeah.
came down to stuff like that. And there's so many more. I was having trouble to find it, but I'm gonna go ahead and play this last one, and then we'll have our final thoughts, and then we out of here. In fact, we should have our final thoughts now and play this and go straight to outro. What y'all think?
Sound like a plan.
All right, Mr. Cosmic, you right next to me. Talk to me.
Well, this has been wonderful. This really has. I needed this. I actually really needed this today. And so I thank you, ladies. And Dada, I just feel him very present right now. And I don't mean to get all woohoo, but the Cosmic Oracle knows some things. And, and I just, very, very prevalent. And I just want to say, ooh, you know what? Real quick, I got a prompt for you for this next week ahead. I just thought about that. Thank you, Dada. Thank you. It could be a journal piece, or it can be for you to ignite a poetic piece. And so I wrote this. I was kind of thinking last night. And so I wrote here, write about where in your life are you holding on to something that feels heavy when your truth is asking you to release it. I encourage you to write about, in regards to that, however you want to write. Is it just going to be a journal entry, or is it going to be a poem? But I thought it's really important right now. It really is, with the cosmic energy going on and what's happening. And so I thought that was very fitting. That's it.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for that. Definitely don't forget those prompts here. To go over to our app, and we are checking. We definitely want to have you up here and recite your stuff. All right, Miss Cheesecake, what do you have for us? Final thoughts?
I feel like we did beautifully today in taking our time and dedicating this show to Rada Dada, because he was cussing our asses out just a little bit.
Yeah, just a smudge.
Like, what are y'all doing? But I feel like we all did a wonderful job in presenting everything that we presented thus far. Prayers and condolences to the Rada family. We love your pops, okay? Because that was our pops too. Like, and shout out to everybody listening, viewing. Get on the app. We can tell when y'all on there.
You know,
we can tell when y'all doing stuff, but
we can tell. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Like, if you are shy, don't be shy. Or if you're kind of like, I don't like her, but I like this, write about it. Tell us what you feel.
Which reminds me is, what about, we mentioned the app. There's a dedication on the app specifically for Rada Dada.
Absolutely.
I was reading last night all the submissions, and I was in tears. Beautiful words being expressed. So folks, if you haven't already, go to the app. We got a section for this wonderful being, and write a little something, or just read what's been written. It's very inspiring. Beautiful, beautifully so.
You read what they wrote?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I would have. I mean, I read some of them. I really did. They were beautiful, by the way.
Yeah.
But did we get some feedback? Okay, because I was telling everybody to go in there.
There's all sorts of pieces, like expressions from folks. I didn't realize I forgot that you expressed that you were doing that. And I was on our app. I was going through for something else because I was going to post a piece on my page, that I brought through last week. And then I was like, wait a minute, that's right. And I clicked on and I was like, oh, no. Or was it wasn't last night. When was it?
Okay.
Maybe the day before yesterday. Because then I wrote something because I'm like, I haven't written anything. Oh my gosh, I have to do this. So
please visit the app. There's a memorial page dedicated to Rada Dada. And yes, there are beautiful comments. I was trying to bring it in right now, but it'll mess up the signal, and I don't want that to happen. I started noticing a little glitching there, and that's okay. I'm gonna give you my last words regarding. Well, I wouldn't say my last words because I think I'm gonna be talking about Dada forever. This was beautiful. I think Cosmic said it and Miss Cheesecake said it best. We needed this, you know. The last show we had, we knew that he had passed, and we were honoring that space for this family. Uh, I will always love you, Dada. I will always remember everything you said to me on and off stereo. It's a little hard because it's hard for me to trust people. And I trusted Dada. I could tell him things that I would never tell anyone else. He just had a way with being. And it was a time where I didn't understand what was going on. And I remember reaching out to Cosmic and telling Cosmic, Dada's acting strange. I don't know what's up with him. And she said, oh, he's going through it. You know, he is older and he's got some ailments and stuff. All I want to say to everybody is that be kind to everyone. You never know when you're going to not see a person again, speak to them again. When you're on stereo, it's an app where everybody fights and argues sometimes, and there's always some type of beef. And a lot of people play this role that they are, I don't come for friends. I come on the app. That's why I'm the way I am. I don't be on that. Everybody want to be friends. That's stupid. To each his own. There's good people out here. And Dada was one of those people. He was loving, caring. He cared about how you felt. If he didn't see me around, there was always that little message in the back that said, what's up, Izzy? Are you good? And I miss those days already. Because when I found out that he wasn't around, that's when I started saying, where the hell is Dada? Where's Dada? Because, it's like he's that person that when you don't hear him, you got to find out where is he. So shout out to Jay Smooth, who was on Fanbase with him, who was creating with him. He wanted me to be on Fanbase, and I kind of was like, okay, because I'm all over the place. I'm on stereo, I'm there, and I was trying to manage it. And I was like, yes, because Dada really believed in bringing culture everywhere. And he says, Izzy, you got to do that Puerto Rico thing. You got to bring it to Fanbase. And I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss his messages. I'm going to miss him, period. So my heart goes out to the Rada family. My heart goes out to anyone who's missing him. And I also want to give, I want to remind everyone also that we did lose Honey Ann on stereo as well. My heart goes out to her friends, her loved ones, her family. She was also a podcaster on stereo who I met on stereo, I should say. I met on stereo. But I was very close to Dada. And I'm not going to lie about that. And I'm not going to pretend that I'm not hurt. I'm not going to pretend that I'm the strong woman here, because he's a human. He was a beautiful soul. And I know he lives on. So all I got to say is that be good to each other. Be kind to each other. If you don't like me, that's fine. If you don't want me around, that's fine. But remember, there's always good in a person, no matter what issues. Life is more important. I choose love. And so you can hate me all you want, but at the end of the day, I'm love. And that's all I got to say, because I saw that. I gave love unconditionally to Dada, and Dada gave that back. He reciprocated. And even when he saw things weren't right between groups and stuff like that, he managed to try to break the ice sometimes and try to remain neutral. And I love that. So sorry, I said I wasn't gonna cry, but here we are. Oh man. All right, y'all. So this is it. This is after this, we'll be back next Saturday. And don't forget, y'all, go into the app, leave your love comments, your love bubbles on the memorial, and reach out to the family if you can, to try to help with the funeral expenses. Okay. All right. Here we go. It's great to see everybody.
Can you hear
All
me
right, just
now?
make now I can hear you. Okay, what's going on? Ooh,
Uh, a little Sunday pause room, you know what I'm saying? With some honey
okay.
butter jazz, honey butter
Oh,
jazz, and
okay.
I want to be with the people that I miss. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
I miss you too.
Izzy, do you realize that what we did today? We did a trifecta show. Well, not a show, but a share. We shared a trifecta. You know,
Yes.
we went into the Morris Latin words. You know, we had a discussion. We started out with a discussion. You know what I'm saying? That was also in the healing purpose, and we ended up with poetry. And you know what I'm saying? That was also in the healing purpose, and we ended up with poetry, and we entice people to also contribute. You know what I'm saying? To give of themselves. So we did a hell of a thing today. You know, pat yourself on
Absolutely.
the back, sister.
Pat yourselves. Pat yourself. Pat yourself. Everybody gets a pat and a hug. I love it.
Everybody gets a pat. Let's go.
You
Let's
get a hug.
go.
You get a hug.
Highway, I
True
found love.
love.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
let me
All
stop.
True
right, Izzy.
love.
We'll
Oh,
never
So
die.
I've been
So
told
I've been told, but
now
now I must find what is finally goodbye. I
love
know.
ooh,
I was like,
his
whoa.
lips were gently saying, honey,
I
I
love
love
you.
Mm.
you.
I love you.
He held me in desperation.
I
I
can't
thought
believe.
it was a revelation.
Listen,
And
And
then
then
El
she
Desgraciado walked
walked
out.
out. I
y'all
found
remember this guy?
love on a
Not to
two-way.
it.
Of all this, no, listen to this. Because of all this singing, we didn't make one sale out the bodega. Not one. Okay.
What are you
Not one
selling?
sec.
Are you really selling something?
Damn right. I'm selling sandwiches. I'm selling beer. I'm selling soda. I'm selling ices. I'm selling Lucy's. You know. And
Lucy's.
What was
Listen,
the name?
so
Lucy.
sodas,
Lucy's in the
sodas. You must
sky.
be
Lucy's
from
in
New
the
York.
corner.
Izzy, stay in my corner.
Oh,
Woo.
You, I
I
love you.
love that, but use the corner,
Oh,
honey. The corner. You're gonna put me in the. Nobody puts Izzy in a corner.
Hold up, man. Are
No,
you
there
sending
you
me to the
go.
corner? Because there's no messages there.
No, you're the one that said for Izzy to stay in your corner. What is your? Oh, get up. Battery
I
check.
mm.
said stay in my
Battery
corner.
check.
I didn't say stay in the corner. Am I hearing things? Am I hearing things?
Oh, fix the battery for God's sake.
What you mean fix the back? What? In my earpiece?
In your earpiece, Dada. You were doing great.
I
You were doing
was? Thank you.
marvelous. I
Yeah.
loved it. I
All right.
loved it. Okay?
Oh
You
man,
have a
somebody just left a message. I guess you
Oh,
wasn't
this
here
is
for the early or notification.
I don't want
There
to
was an early
close
notification.
my eyes.
another
I'll
sneaker.
always love you.
What a mix.
Bonacera,
All that
Senorita
you
Bonacera.
are.
It's so
Oh,
hard.
Yeah,
yes.
I have a final word. Something that Dr. Poetry, my sister Izzy, she has immortalized something that I say, and that is shout out for everybody.
Shout outs for everybody. You know, he does that so well. He does that like Oprah Winfrey when she says, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. He walks into the room and he's like, you get a shout out, you get a shout out. We all get shout outs. So,
Izzy, I wanna I
yes.
wanna I wanna encourage you, man, to keep pushing your poetry, keep pushing everybody in the realm of poetry and words expression, because I mean, look what you just did. You just you made people get into themselves and express themselves. And that's also part of your job in this life, woman.
Poesía. Poetry. Greek meaning poesía. I create, yo creo, conveying love, at times some anger, lyrical yet magical methods of manifestations. I love it. A way of remembering, holding on to memory, preservation is called poetry. Predating literacy in many languages, 9 elements of poetry, alliteration, assonance, consonance, figurative language, poetry. I love the imagery. Rhyme with me, feeling the rhythm, sometimes bongos, but today cover me. I'm going in with drums and violins. I'm Dr. Poetry, I dancer while I write a stanza, choosing wisely my tone, bailando el son, escuchando la clave. Poetry, feeling the recentering rapidly to the movement of my pen as I express my thoughts through poem. What many refer to poetry. But was Latin really derived from the Romans? Negative, it's from the Phoenicians. Latin realmente no derivó de los romanos. After all, aren't we all hermanas y hermanos? Honest to all languages as we keep creating. We may all be speaking, but are we really communicating? I see you over there playing investigator all in my hair. Pero yo no me ha muerto para que me estén velando. Entiendo lo que estoy falando, mi filia. Fica con calma, nene. No fica así, no. No fica con rabia, no. No one is shaming you for speaking different languages that connect us all. There's always truth in the lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency. But for me, it's the ability to express my thoughts in several languages. After all, the point of it all is to connect and not disconnect. Protection for the connection. Embrace my affection. In poética dieri, soy doctora poesía, soy la doctora poesial. Oh, ¿a qué aconteció como lengua latina? Ella es extinta. What happened to the Latin language? Is it extinct? Is it dead? Está muerto, que era un herculano, inició de latín, ¿el dónde veo? ¿De dónde vino? Phoenician derived, said the Romanos, so they added TIC to create a romantic language of French, Romanian, Spanish, and Portuguese. There's always truth in a lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency to embrace all dialects, accents that beautifully remind us of our diversified ancestry. Poesía sounds like a lot, right? I love it. Speaking Latin, Portuguese, and Spanish, but where did it come from? Phoenician. No one is shaming you for speaking different languages. Ninguém tá falando mentira, minha filha. Fica com calma, neném. Da mão não fica assim, não. There's always truth in the lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency. Frequency. Ninguém me está avergonhando você por falar diferente. A linguagem que nos conecta a todos. Yo amo poesía con toda mi alma. Poesía. Feel free to hate on me. I'm Dr. Poetry. And I love poetry.